Moscow, the Central Election Commission of Kyrgyzstan declared the results of the weekend's parliamentary election invalid on Tuesday after Massachusetts protests erupted in the Kyrgyz capital, Bishkek, and other cities, with opposition supporters seizing government buildings overnight and demanding a new election. Hundreds were injured and one person died. Members of several opposition parties announced plans to oust the president and form a new government. The decision to cancel the results of the vote was made in order to prevent tension in the country, head of the commission Nursan Shadabakova told the Interfax news agency. Massachusetts protests in the capital, Bishkek, and other cities broke out after the authorities announced early results of Sunday's parliamentary election. They attributed the majority of votes to two parties with ties to the ruling elites, amid reports of vote buying and other violations. Supporters of a dozen opposition parties took to the streets on Monday, demanding the cancellation of the vote and a new election. Police moved to disperse the crowds with water cannons, tear gas and flashbang grenades. Some 590 people sustained injuries in clashes with police and one person died, the Interfax news agency reported, citing Kyrgyzstan's health ministry. The violent crackdown failed to curb the unrest, and during the night the protesters broke into the government complex that houses both the parliament and the presidential office. Interfax reported that opposition supporters also took control of Bishkek City Hall. Another group of protesters went to Kyrgyzstan State Committee of National Security, demanding to free former President Almazbek Atambayev, who was convicted on corruption charges earlier this year and sentenced to 11 years and 2 months in prison. Security officers released Atambayev after negotiations with the protesters. Members of several opposition parties announced plans to oust Jeenbekov and create a new government. We intend to seek the dismissal of Suranbay Jeenbekov from his post, Maksat Mamitkanov, a member of the Chankazat party, told Interfax on Tuesday, adding that opposition parties also insist on adopting a new constitution. Zanarakayev of the Ottoman opposition party was quoted by the Kyrgyz service of Radio Free Europe/Radio Liberty as saying that a new prime minister and a people's government need to be appointed, and then a popular election needs to be held. I call on all political forces to put the fate of the country above their political ambitions and return to acting within the law, Jeenbekov said.